Welcome once again to Musings by Danon. Today we're going to continue our series on Magic the Gathering. This is part of an ongoing series where I inform Magic players about the history behind the cards from the new Dungeons & Dragons base set, Adventures in the Forgotten Realms. Today we're going to talk about Tasha's Hideous Laughter and Flumph. Once upon a time, Gary Gygax, the creator of Dungeons & Dragons, received a letter from a little girl named Tasha. It was written in crayon, and she asked Mr. Gygax to please create a spell involving laughter. In November 1982, Dragon Magazine Volume 62 introduced us to the spell Tasha's Uncontrollable Hideous Laughter. In 1984, Dragon number 82 had an article titled Lore of Subtle Communication by Tasha, which included not just Tasha's uncontrollable hideous laughter, but also ventriloquism, message, comprehend languages, and legend lore. Recently, Wizards of the Coast released a book called Tasha's Cauldron of Everything. The infamous Witch Queen Tasha had gone through many evolutions throughout the history of D&D, and this newest book shows how she has evolved from a simple seducing enchantress to being obsessed with all forms of knowledge, both profane and benign. Tasha's Hideous Laughter is a spell that causes its target to find everything hilarious. They fall on the floor and laugh. It's possible for a being with a strong will to break free of the effects of the spell. However, while they're on the floor laughing, they are vulnerable to attacks. A rogue doesn't even have to sneak up on the target to take advantage of their backstab ability. Dungeons & Dragons is a very math-heavy game. The core of the game is the infamous 20-sided die. A player rolls the die to determine if they accomplish a task. The Dungeon Master determines how difficult a specific task is by assigning a number to it. High numbers for harder difficulty, lower numbers for easier difficulty. A player then rolls a 20-sided die, or d20, then adds any relevant modifiers to determine if they succeed or fail. 20 is a number that comes up a lot in D&D, and is often reached or even surpassed based on how skilled a player is, and 20 is almost always a success. I believe it is for that reason, math totaling up to 20 is why the number was chosen for Tasha's Hideous Laughter. Moving on to the Flumph, these are creatures that live in the Underdark, a series of caves that exist deep in the bowels of Faerun. Many creatures live in this lightless world, drow, drugar, illithid, and most of them are evil. The Flumph, however, is not evil. It lives off of psychic energy, picking up bits of stray thoughts and energy left behind by aberrations like the illithid. The Flumph will then share these psychic impressions with anyone it passes by. Some people think that because they often share evil thoughts, the Flumph is an evil creature. This is not the case at all. They are good and benign creatures, but for the most part they are often sharing thoughts from the illithid, some of the most vile and evil creatures in the Forgotten Realms. Thanks for tuning in. I was excited to have two new cards to talk about today, and I'm hoping Wizards of the Coast continues to give us little teasers from Adventures in the Forgotten Realms. I get the feeling there will be a data dump soon, and I'll be spending weeks catching up. Once again, huge shout out to my editor, Cute Stuff. I couldn't make these videos without her. Please like and subscribe for more content, and I'll see you all again next time.